The Moto G has been a hugely popular phone in the past 2 years, bringing a new level of power to the affordable smartphone market, and with the new Moto G, the brand is hoping to continue the trend. So, this is Bajit Das from Techie Geek pairing up with Meher Singh from Tech Decoded and presenting the full review of Moto G 3rd generation. Let's start with the design first. So, the design of the Moto G 2015 is almost identical to the previous generations, but this year's model does have a couple of tweaked elements. The addition of mid-plate detail delivers more premium design, while the metallic accent around the camera, which can be customized, adds a bit of contrast. Of course, it wouldn't be a Moto device without all too familiar dimple beneath the camera. Well, the Moto G design is meant to resemble the company's higher end offerings like the Moto X style. Don't be fooled, the metallic accent that surrounds the device feels cheap and plasticky, which makes the device feel more affordable than premium. Up front, we have a 5-inch LCD display with a single loudspeaker beneath it. Last year's model featured two front-facing speakers, so the switch to a single speaker is a disappointment, and while it's not amazing, it certainly gets the job done. Moving around the sides, the power and the standby button sits above the volume rocker on the right side of the device, while the top features a center-mounted 3.5 headphone jack, a design element we have come to expect from Motorola devices. The left side of the device doesn't sport any buttons whatsoever, and the bottom houses a micro USB port. Both the power and volume hardware button provided the particularly poor tactile feedback. This is where the budget aspect of the device really shines through. Now comes the hardware. The new Moto G lacks in display. It more than makes up for it in its hardware and optimization. Under the hood, the biggest changes include a newer, better chipset and additional RAM. The lower 8GB version with just 1GB but more premium edition offers better storage and RAM at slightly higher cost. The battery has impressive performance when gaming or multitasking or doing such heavy tasks. It manages to give you 2.5 to 3 hours of battery life. The new Moto G is a few additions away from older Moto phones experience, and this shows when it comes to the performance. For general multitasking to heavy gaming, this handset is more capable of handling whatever you ask for it. Despite the mid-range processor, as we all know, Moto devices are famous of the pure Android, and this device isn't an exception and comes with Android 5.1. However, Moto has this time included a large camera on the back of the device, and it's the same Sony IMX214 sensor found in Google's flagship Nexus 6 that gives 13 megapixel resolution, f2.0 aperture and a dual tone LED flash, while an IR filter helps you to reduce glare. There's no optical image stabilization or O.I.S. However, meaning photos and videos come out shaky if you don't hold perfectly still. In daylight, the camera produces color that are vibrant and captures an impressive amount of detail. In particular, HDR mode makes a big difference to image, and while some other phones do very little in HDR mode. Talking about the software, as usual, the new Moto features a near stock Android experience, meaning you will have access to the Google Now launcher with just a couple of Motorola specific applications thrown into the mix. By far, my favorite feature is the number of different quick gestures, which lets you accomplish simple things easily. A double flick of the wrist turns the flash on or off, while a double twist of the wrist launches the camera, which is a cool feature obviously. And the Moto G's software experience overall is great. It is responsive, easy to pick up for the first time, and allows the phone to run as fast as ever. So when the first Moto G was launched, it introduced the concept of premium entry-level smartphones. But since then, plenty of handset makers have launched products that try to take the Moto G's crown. On paper, the list of specification isn't the best you can get at this price point, But on the performance front, the Moto G is definitely up for the task. The many positives of this handset definitely outweigh the few if you can handle the strong shortcomings in the display and the camera. The Moto G is one for you. Well, that's it. We had a great experience with the higher end model. Though overall, the new Moto G 2015 turns out to be a great invention from Motorola, and it rocks.